Thanks, Umar Ayo, for that report. We have live here in the studio this afternoon the leader of the Neighbourhood Carewell Foundation. She's executive director, precisely, Pastor Victoria Emah-Emah. So good to have you join us this afternoon, madam.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
From what you just saw there, that report, I think we need to, first and foremost, to a very the layman. What would everyone will be hearing the word rape, rape, rape? What is really rape?
Rape is having sex with somebody without the person's consent, and children can't give consent because they are not competent enough to do that, and that's rape as well. That's defilement. So rape is any act of sex without consent or with coercion and tricking somebody to have sex with the person.
Okay, man. Now, of recent, we noticed that there's been this upsurge on rape cases, and one would tend to conclude or think that the coronavirus lockdown has anything to do with this, because maybe these gentlemen if I told the agenda, I think I'm using a very nice word. Maybe these the guys, because it will be so gentle, so to use for the perpetrators. So do you think the lockdown has anything to add actions? One could just think, because it's really on the increase in the last 2 weeks.
I think it's a contributory factor, but generally there has been a lot of issues of rape before the lockdown. I've had a lot being reported to my organization, but the lockdown has brought an upsurge on the issue of rape. I think that most times the perpetrators are influenced by a lot of things. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be involvement in one thing or the other, and so they are more impatient about going out to make friends and to take consent for sex. And now for them, sex is a free game for young people. Even older people are doing it, and children are being dragged into rape. I think there are a lot of issues that contribute to this. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of people using hard substances. There are a lot of people into cult. There are a lot of people also. This lockdown have caused them to be bored. So.
Oh, okay. Now, from what the report we just had there from a correspondent, one or two of them had linked rape, one of the causes of rape, to indecent dressing. Now, do you think that has anything to do whatsoever with rape, dressing, or what any form of dressing? Do you think it's an attractant to rape?
Excuse me. I will start by saying that a baby that is raped is wearing Pampers. Is that unusual? And a 4-year-old that is raped is just being a 4-year-old and not dressed indecently. A 12-year-old who is on the street and parents are not able to buy the spaghetti hand for them, is that indecent dressing? What we're dealing with here is passing the buck and blaming the victim instead of the perpetrator. It doesn't matter how anybody is dressed. Rape should not be an issue that should be generated because somebody is walking naked. So many times in time past, when we were growing up, when you go to village streams, men and women are bathing naked, and there were no issues of rape because it was a taboo. Now, when we begin to excuse our actions that because girls and women are walking naked, you are actually shifting the responsibility of the issue on the victims, who should be nursed, rehabilitated, and help to recover. But when you excuse perpetrators for what they have done, you're actually helping them or encouraging them to do what they're doing. There's nothing like the fact that somebody was naked I never saw my grandmother wearing dress all the time. Sometimes they tie wrapper on the waist and the breast is outside. But nobody raped them at that time. But as we speak to you, young boys are raping old women. And so when we are talking about rape here, we're not talking about clothes. Okay, for instance, the girl that was reading in church, Uwa, was she dressed? Was she dressed naked? The girl in one of the northern states, I think Jigawa State, who was in hijab, was that nakedness with long dress? What about children that are raped? How can you ever imagine that it has to do with a dress or with something that somebody is wearing? It is our mindset. It's because you have restructured your mind to think differently about women. You see women as tools, as toys, or something you can play with, something of your own pleasure, a furniture that you can use, tune the TV at will, and do what you want. So you're actually excusing the perpetrators, and I don't buy it.
Okay, amazing. Okay, now let me quickly find out. It's been this trend now that the rape and kill. What could be, that has never been the same, the way. It's always been the rape and that's it. But now the rape and the mother, the victim. What are we having?
And we're also excusing that is because they don't want them to talk. There's more to it than we could ever imagine. Nigeria in particular has gone digital in terms of ritual issues. So we could also look at it. I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor, from the spiritual perspective of it. Why do you rape, then you kill the person? When we generate some of the issues that have been generated on social media, on the orthodox media, you discover that you cannot displace spiritual issues from this as well. Why are so many young people getting into rape? Before now, they used to be afraid. And secondly, I also want to speak to fathers. The Vox Pop has spoken to mothers who don't teach their daughters how to dress well. I also want to speak to fathers. As a father, are you a role model? When you have children as your girlfriends and you become their sugar daddy, don't you think your son is sinning? When you walk around with young children or young girls who are not your mates, don't you think the boy child is also learning from it? So it's a whole lot of culture that we have to deal with, a whole lot of values that have been broken down, a whole lot of safety net that has been shredded. So when we talk about rape, it's not in isolation of the actions of the parents. It's not in isolation of the actions of people who are supposed to be heroes, but they have become a source of inspiration for wrongdoings. So I'm thinking at the community level, how can our community leaders take responsibility in terms of building the safety net and going back to the times where values were put in children? It's not about punishing a child. It's about communicating the right values in terms of role modeling. And we're also talking about family role modeling. Are children able to be categorized as being like their father? You know, in time past, when they see you, say, you're just like your mother. Oh, you're just like your father. Can people say that about us today as mothers and as fathers? Today, we have faith leaders who are running multi-persons organizations. What's your take on the messages you're delivering to the next generation? Because if we don't succeed today, we will stay in our grave and turn and see the outcome of the seed that we had sown. Okay. So we need to sow the right kind of seed.
Okay, amazing. Just because of time, let me just take this last one. How do we get these victims rehabilitated?
Good. You know, rehabilitation takes a whole lot of process and a whole lot of other professionals. Number one, Cross River State has a GBV, a gender-based violence center. And most times, people don't access those services. It's supported by UNFPA. People don't assessing is at Women Affairs. So if you have been violated, abused, raped, or molested, you can easily walk into Women Affairs. It's an open door center and get access. And there are NGOs like us you can talk to. Some of us, we have hired psychologists, because rehabilitating the mental state of the girl that has been raped is very important. Most times we look at the physical issues, we address the medical issues in terms of health, but we've not talked about the psychological aspect of those girls that have that have been raped. So you can ask organization. There's so many organizations you can work with, and you can get that. The police is also a key component of addressing these issues, because perpetrators need to be prosecuted and justice given to the victim. Because where there is no justice, the perpetrators will think it's a right and they should keep doing it and nobody can do anything. Today I'm just coming from the state headquarters of the police, and they have said that they will support victims and make sure that the perpetrators are prosecuted. So don't be afraid to go. If you go to the police station and they're not doing it, contact Neighbourhood Care Well Organization, and you get justice.
Thank you very much, Pastor Victoria Emah-Emah, the Executive Director of Neighbourhood Care Well Foundation. Thank you very much for coming on the show this afternoon. We'll ensure we keep tab with you and make sure our girls are free from this wicked guys.
Please, can I give numbers so that
okay, go ahead, please.
You can call us at 0802 35 20 517. I repeat, 0802 35 20 517. Please call. I'll pick your call.
All right, thank you very much. It's still the COVID-19 special update. We had a chat with the Executive Director of Neighbourhood Care Well Foundation, and we had to look at the rising cases of rape in the country. Pastor Victoria Emah-Emah. We're going a very short break. When we are back, we'll be giving you the COVID-19 update cutting across Nigeria, Africa, and the entire globe. Stay with us.
Never close your eyes, never stop.
The streets are no longer safe. How do you even sleep after inflicting so much pain on her? Your hands were supposed to protect her and not abuse her. Your eyes were meant to look after her and not lust after her. We are tired of our girls and women getting raped and killed by the same men who are supposed to protect them. Tired of carrying placards with inscriptions on them saying, "We are tired." We want a safe street and a safe world for our women and our girls and for all of us. So together, with one voice, we are saying, stop raping our children and our women. Say no to rape. No.